Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys Super Bowl champ veteran considered on roster bubble. One veteran player may be fighting for his roster spot on the Dallas Cowboys throughout the preseason. In Mike Crum of Cowboys Wire's article regarding 5 players who should be considered on the roster bubble, he lists linebacker Damian Wilson as one of those players. The 31-year-old Wilson is in his second stint with the team, having initially been drafted by the Cowboys back in 2015. Crum mentions how Wilson's special teams experience could give him an edge when it comes to locking down one of the final roster spots. Wilson was a special teams ace in his time in Dallas and played on that unit on every team he played for, including 211 snaps last year in Carolina, writes Crum. That was 45% of their special team snaps. He isn't old, he has championship experience, he knows the big stage in Dallas, and he will play all 3 linebacker spots as well as special teams. Those types are hard to cut. Wilson rejoined the Cowboys by signing with the team's practice squad before the end of the 2023 season. During his initial stint in Dallas, Wilson started 22 of his 64 games, including 16 in each of his last 2 seasons. During his best season with the Cowboys, he racked up 37 tackles, 1 sack and 1 forced fumble while starting 7 games for Dallas during the 2018 season. In addition, he played 83% of the special teams snaps during that season. As mentioned before, Wilson is a Super Bowl champion, having won a ring as a starting linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs back in 2019. Wilson started all 16 games that season while racking up 81 tackles and 1.5 sacks. In addition, he started all 3 games, racking up 19 tackles in the process. While Wilson won't be competing for a starting job leading into the season, he does add valuable experience as an experienced backup. Wilson has started 73 of his 127 career games in the NFL and can contribute on special teams when need be. During his first stint with the Cowboys, 2015 through 2018, he played in at least 64% of the special teams snaps during all 4 of his seasons in Dallas. As Crum also notes, Wilson can be trusted in a number of roles due to his experience of playing both on defense and on special teams at the same time. At 30 years old, this former Cowboy will not go out without a fight, and he brings some necessary know-how to a very young linebacker core behind Eric Kendricks, writes Crum. Wilson can be a backup at any of the linebacker spots, and Mike Zimmer knows he can trust him to understand and execute his assignments without mental breakdowns. In the Cowboys' first depth chart before their first preseason game, they list Wilson as a primary backup behind starting middle linebacker Eric Kendricks. While his roster spot is far from secure, his experience of playing multiple roles combined with his past of playing for the Cowboys makes it likely that Wilson makes the 53-man roster entering the season. CeeDee Lamb removes Dallas Cowboys reference from social media. Dallas Cowboys fans were riding high after the team's joint practice with the Los Angeles Rams. Players on both sides of the ball were making flashy plays and showing promise ahead of the start of the preseason, and it was good vibes only in Cowboys Nation. Then, Jerry Jones opened his mouth. The Cowboys owner was asked about contract negotiations with star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, and his comments led to chaos. Jones said, "I don't have any urgency to get it done," in reference to a contract extension that would make Lamb one of the league's highest-paid wide receivers. Lamb immediately caught wind of Jones' comments and gave a simple response on social media. Cowboys star defender Micah Parsons even gave a no-comment comment by retweeting Lamb's comment on X. Even star quarterback Dak Prescott referenced Jerry Jones' remark, saying he does have urgency to get Lamb back on the field. It's a mess, and now Jones appears to have alienated one of his star players. While Lamb has not commented any further, he made a statement with a simple gesture. Lamb removed the tag America's Team from his X and Instagram bios. Way to go, Jerry. Not only has waiting to extend Lamb and Prescott proved to be costly by watching the wide receiver and quarterback markets explode, Jones' comments are only making things worse. It wouldn't be the Dallas Cowboys without some off-field drama, and they're certainly delivering that in bunches ahead of the 2024-25 NFL season. Cowboys tabbed a trade fit for $60 million star playmaker. If there is one thing we've seen from the Cowboys this offseason, it's that the team hands out nickels like they're manhole covers. With its salary cap situation being a difficult one, the team has just $12 million in space, according to OvertHeCap.com, which ranks 23rd in the NFL. The Cowboys let several respected veterans walk in free agency this winter. With the team's lackluster playoff performance, they're 4-12 in the postseason in the last 25 years, owner Jerry Jones has been more than reluctant to commit to contracts for his current players. Still, they want to give the Super Bowl a legitimate go this year, and if they truly hope to have more of a postseason impact this year, they'll need more talent. At USA Today, they're suggesting a way that the Cowboys could add a significant talent that should be available on the trade market, if not now, then soon. That would be wide receiver Courtland Sutton of the Broncos, who would give CeeDee Lamb, assuming he ends his holdout, a top-level running mate and would give star quarterback Dak Prescott arguably the best number 2 receiver he's had in his career. There's reason to believe that Sutton could hit the trade market this summer, or at least before the trade deadline. His current team, Denver, is likely going with rookie quarterback Bo Nix and would do well to look to collect future assets while they can. Sutton is coming off a year in which he caught 59 passes for 772 yards and 10 touchdowns. He could bump Cowboys number 2 Brandon Cooks into the currently empty number 3 role. Cooks will be a free agent after this season. If the Denver Broncos view this upcoming season as a must-win for Sean Payton and his coaching staff, it's unlikely the team trades Sutton this summer, USA Today's Corey Woodruff wrote. If Denver has a more patient approach to what life may look like starting quarterback Bo Nix this season, the front office may be open to trading Sutton to get as much in return as possible while he's still playing at a high level. While he might be a more likely candidate for the NFL trade deadline, we'll include him on this list as someone we're keeping an eye on as a possible candidate. He'd be a marquee name for any team that needs receiver help. For the Broncos, he could bring in a pretty nice draft pick. Woodruff pegs the Cowboys, as well as the Steelers and Patriots, as fits for Sutton. Of course, as good as he might look in a Cowboys uniform, Sutton's contract would complicate things for a team that has not shown much willingness to get creative with contract restructures and adding pieces this offseason. Sutton is in the second year of a 4-year, $60 million contract that has a cap hit of $17.3 million, per Spotrac. The Cowboys are currently locked in a battle over the contract of Lamb, who has been holding out of camp as he seeks a new deal, rather than playing on the 5th-year option he has, slated to pay him $18 million. Dallas is likely to give Lamb a new deal, though the reluctance to pay him is obvious, just like it is with Prescott, who also is eligible for an extension. The Cowboys also let go 2 top-level offensive contributors, left tackle Tyron Smith and rubbing back Tony Pollard. The chances that the Cowboys are willing to give up a quality draft pick, at least a 4th-rounder, if not a 3rd, for Sutton are slim, especially given the fact that they'd have to pay him. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Courtland Sutton? Leave your opinion in the comments.